Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so incredibly much for joining us tonight. We did change the name to Ascension Activations. So much fun. So, we will be reading from one of the books tonight, and we will be diving into spiritual knowledge and information channeled from the Star People. First, we ever so gently, dear ones, wish to start with an Om. An Om opens and expands both your hearts and your upper chakra centers, allowing a type of connection to then form. Take a deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. Thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeled session tonight. Thank you so incredibly much for bringing forward information that is in alignment with the people watching and for helping and assisting all of our ascension processes. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. So tonight we're going to be starting by talking about the nervous system net. I'm going to read a little bit from the book, and we're also going to be talking about the energetic grid structures. Now, there's different aspects of your energy field that you can go into to provide different activations into the energetics. And what that allows is, if we think about our body and our energy field. Many times on the spiritual journey, we start to think of just the aura field as if it is one solid unit in itself. The truth is that there's different aspects of it that through conscious focus and attention, we're able to make changes or modifications to, which then allow the outer reality perception to then shift. And what that looks like is, let's say, for an example, you shift darkness out of your heart chakra, then all of a sudden you may manifest or co-create into a vibrationally aligned timeline in where you may experience more love. For that density or distortion in your heart is then holding the light from fully radiating into the outward simulation codings. Thank you. Thank you, dear star people. Thank you. So we're going to read, it is page 183 in Keys to My Ascension, the nervous system net. The nervous system net flows just under the skin and is adjusted by emotion codes imprinted into the net system. The net may shift in its feeling expression. It is primarily felt under the skin, yet certain emotion codes cast into the net may shift the feeling into an outside of the body expression. This shifts magnetic alignments and starts the manifestation process according to what emotion codes are resonating within the net structures. Now, many times when we think about an emotion code, we think about the earlier beginning stages, the happiness, sadness, and all the basic emotions. But the truth is that every single item in the simulation contains a vibrational resonance. These items, let's take a grasshopper for an example. If we take the emotion code grasshopper and we have to become very happy and excited. I choose to teach people how to use this in positivity. So, but any high intensity emotion also works, which is why when you guys are maybe perceiving an argument, it is of high value to be aware of what words you are using during the argument, because the higher the emotional intensity, it then starts a process of casting that energetic signature into the nervous system net of all individuals in the field. For dear ones, the emotional resonance of grasshopper. This may be perceived as a type of guide or consciousness. This frequency then embodies within the nervous system net, allowing the primary individual to then observe that energy throughout their waking world. This may look like positive thoughts or a guide coming to you, when you need it in your waking life. Each animal insect may be imprinted into the nervous system net. Many times, your ancient Native Americans would facilitate a type of dream walking ability in which they were able to acquire your animal resonance or familiar. This then would be what frequency was imprinted within your nervous system net. For each of you contains alignments to both the zodiac as well as animals and insects. Knowing your animal frequency then allows for that energy to then be perceived in your waking physical world. For full working knowledge of your nervous system net, dear ones, shall allow a true multidimensional ability to form. For any modifications to your nervous system net shall change or modify the light refractal systems, allowing you to see or observe different energetics, then allows for you to change into a different world among worlds expression. Thank you. Beautiful. So many times when we do start to see people say that I am happy, I am healthy. If you guys close your eyes and you just feel into this, like right underneath the top layer of the skin, you're going to start to feel into your nervous system net. This nervous system net is not only in the biological form, it is connected to the fascio net system. However, there is more to it than that. It is also ethereal in its nature. It connects way up into the axial tonal lines, the star people are saying. And when we start to come inwards, the star people are saying we can hold a crystal and you can start to feel the nervous system net shift depending on what the crystal's frequency is holding. So when we start to see the crystals, we start to hold multiple crystal expressions. It then allows for specific combinations to adjust the nervous system net. Okay, so what they're showing me now is, let's take the example of the chiropractor. You may go to a chiropractor and an individual may have muscle knots. And the muscle knots could be anywhere in the back. They actually could be anywhere in the entire body. That knot is the nervous system net holding that frequency or whatever trauma coding that the person walked through and never released that emotion. And then all of a sudden it causes a distortion or a muscle knot. So when we start to close the eyes and we feel underneath the skin, we feel into that nervous system net, we can then ask the nervous system net, where do I feel discomfort? Where is the light not shining through 100%? Is there any density or darkness in the nervous system net? The more and more we can go within the body, we can start to feel the nervous system net, and then we can make changes or modifications to that net. It is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's see what else it says. Okay. Okay, we're going to go into the energetic grid complex. This is a comprehensive coverage of the energetic grid complex. So every single paragraph is we're going to stop and talk about. The energetic grid complex is a light refractal system of angular light expressions. These angles of light may be modified in a multitude of refracted light expressions. This cymatically forms geometric patterns, which then submit the basis for physical matter coding grids or structures, physical matter coding structures. So what this means is this. We have the upper soul that comes down the physical body. Inside each of the chakras are little lenses. It actually looks like 3 lenses or 3 rings, and each lens can be modified like this. So that light comes down, it touches into the lenses inside each of the chakras, except it's from front to back. When we modify that light that comes down, we now send more love and light out the front of the body or less. So when we experience a trauma, one of the little lenses will shift and allow more light out the rear of the chakra. This is what allows you to either feel the emotions of love or feel less love and more of the void energy. The void energy is pulling the light out of the body, and it is more fear or trauma based. When we start to go into the system, we can drop, once again, you close your eyes. We look inside the body. When we look inside the body, we can go into each and every one of the primary chakras, and we can start to feel into the lens system. These lenses are directly in the center of that chakra system. It is in the space in between the chakras. And what that looks like is the energy of positivity flows out front. The darkness, negativity, the fear flows out the rear of the chakra. Directly in the middle, there's a little cross. Right in that center is where the 3 lenses are. These are part of your ring systems. For any modification that you do to one of these lenses, it then reflects outwards the body into the ring system. Let's read the next paragraph so you don't jump ahead. Okay. The light refractal system allows the center soul tubule, also known as the center kundalini channel, to select a primary chakra lens to flow out of. This fractal of light shifts the perception of the individual through the primary chakra lens. And once again, this affects the physical manifestations perceived through each chakra lens's characteristics. So what that means is that the light comes down your center soul tubule. You're going to adjust one of these little lenses, and then the lens allows more light to flow outwards. However, there's different types of modifications that we can also do with these lenses. Kind of works very similarly to a magnifying glass. So because there's 3 of them, the center one adjusts the biological form. The secondary ring or lens then adjusts your location ring. This location ring contains all information vibrationally of all individuals in your life. Friends, co-workers, family, relationships. The 3rd ring or lens controls your civilization experience. Modifications to this lens then allows the primary individual to take the light and refractalize it out your star field. This process, dear ones, occurs naturally through each trauma or happy vibrational experience you perceive. For each individual is walking a path, and that path allows for positive and negative experiences to shift angular light orientations. This, dear ones, may be controlled by each individual. On the spiritual journey, you may dive into different shadow work sessions in order to cleanse and purify your star field. Thank you. Thank you, dear star people. So the star field are the energetic nodes outside of the body. We have a meridian and ley line system. It looks like a bunch of crosses or a net that runs over the body as well. The meridian and ley line system, right in the center of those little crosses, there's a little vortex of energy. This system, it comes out about 6 feet of the body, and that's the star people call the star field. Now, each one of those energetic nodes can be white, dark, or grayscale. When we start to hold the traumas in the star field, the energetic node will look dark. We need to cleanse and purify 144 of them total in order to ascend up to 5D, which is beautiful. So the process of going within and healing the self allows for us to cleanse and purify these vortices. And the more we clean up all the emotional traumas that we have been holding on to our entire life, then all of a sudden we feel very clean energetically, which is beautiful. The star field is also how the attachments or messengers, they adjust our manifestations of the physical reality. For each star field nodule, dear ones, allows for that particular energy to open a door, say. That door then allows any type of messenger who is in alignment with that particular frequency access into your internal circumstances. This, dear ones, allows for any type of assisted manifestation according. No, they're taking away the word according. It's an assisted manifestation done with these particular types of messenger entities or beings, is what they were saying. Excellent. Okay. Let's see, we did this one. An outward adjustment system is known as the external circumstances. Planetary alignments are an example of an external circumstance, and the planet's pattern of light is encoded within the civilization ring. So, an external circumstance, we know, or many of us know, if there's a full moon, it's time to cut the hair and do rituals and cleansing and purifying. We may even put water out to collect the frequency of the full moon in order to allow us to then take that frequency of the full moon and manifest according to it. Because the second that you're using anything on the outside of your body, it is an external circumstance. The things going on the inside of your body is an internal circumstance. This is important because there are certain every single item that you put into your body, it affects the internal circumstances. You can have one drop of an essential oil, and that one drop of oil shifts the entire baseline frequency or oscillation frequency each of you are holding. There is different types of kinesiology or muscle testing, which allows for the primary individual to then test any item for alignment factors. When the primary individual is fully aware of alignments, it allows for different forms of manifestations to occur. 4. When you, as an individual, dear ones, are aware of whatever materials make you stronger, you then may start engaging in those superfoods, allowing those foods to make your energy field larger, bigger, stronger, or more healed in your nature. Thank you. Thank you, star people. They showed me a little vision of a heart and they said thank you. It was so cute. Okay, let's see. Okay. Contained within the thought grid's 0 point is a control system. This system is accessed through shifting of the veil of density and back pulling the consciousness into an inner level of awareness. This sense may feel as if you are not the physical body, yet an outwards expression of a soul body. So, once again, this is a control system. The control system is located right in front of the pineal gland, and literally the way that we access it, you close your eyes. For me personally, I close my eyes. There are some people who could do this with their eyes open, and you have to pull yourself back, and it really is, it's your soul or your energy field pulling itself back. And when you do that, you may feel yourself like shift into that position. And the second you're fully in there, now you can start to change or modify your hormones, your body. You can control your thermostat. Your thermostat, the star people are saying, comes from the heart, though, but the control system controls the entire body. So there are emotions you can trigger that will activate the heart to adjust the thermostat as well. If you guys have ever been like really embarrassed and your face turns red and you start sweating, that's an emotion. An emotion can trigger your thermostat of your body. Every single hormone and every single aspect of what it means to be human, it can be modified by us. We can go in and we can make these changes when we start to activate the control system. Once again, that system is right in front of the pineal gland, and it literally feels like you're pulling yourself backwards the body, and then just focus right there in that spot. It's okay if you call your guides to help you through that process, and just hold on one second, let me listen. Have an awareness to send it love first, the star people are saying, so that any modifications that you do make, it's energetically cast with love, so that it doesn't cause any harm to your biological form as you are learning the system. Calling upon the guides is of high value because they will help assist you, and they will make sure that you are not making modifications that could cause potential harm. The guides and the star people you may also call upon. Thank you, star people, for assisting all the people watching and the secondary people too, if they start to adjust their energetics. Thank you. We love you guys. Okay. Okay, back pulling mastery is key for full access of all biological hormonal system regulations, as well as shifting the physical matter codings of the biological form. Shape-shifting. That's what that is. The control system also allows the perception of in the world, yet not of it, to form. And a being accessing this level of awareness is considered an activated fifth density being. Now, once again, the second that you are able to pull your consciousness into the control system and you are able to make a modification like that. So let's say you pull yourself in there and you change your eye colors from gray to hazel, or you change your hair color, or you're able to change how long you're able to stay under the water, which is amazing because a lot of times we do things like this unknowingly. Because the second that your body has a need, all of a sudden your system is already, it goes like a supercomputer. If the need is there, the body will evolve, it will adjust itself. It is beautiful. The nervous system net stores all emotion and energetic imprints. This is a biological function which allows the cycle repeat processes to form depending on the imprints held within the body. These internal circumstances may allow pure light to flow through the light refractal system, or distortions of the light to manifest density encoded experiences. Anytime we see an experience come into our waking world more than once, it is a cycle repeat. And that cycle repeat is here to allow us an opportunity to hold more love, to allow that cycle repeat to transmutate. So when the cycle repeat comes up, it's okay from a human perspective. Sometimes we'll get stuck and we'll feel the experience and it comes to us. And then it's okay to take a moment, to take a step back and to say, oh, okay, now I've identified this is a cycle repeat. Let me send it more love and let me hold neutrality. And it's okay for you to slip into the experience and to pull yourself back to love and slip in and please. It's okay. That's part of how we learn to control and regulate our emotions. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to try. We have to give it our best. That's all. And, it's okay to do baby steps and all that stuff. Don't beat yourself up. Okay. Next one. The nervous system net is ever shifting depending on items interacted with, energetic cords, and locations experienced. This net may be set with tones of manifestation. This allows for alignments to form in the ether substructures and starts a process of energetic blending. The nervous system net responds to all light information and reflects an energetic pattern accordingly. This pattern fluctuates emotional harmonic resonances. So once again, any animal, any insect, any thought form can be energetically cast, and the nervous system net holds that energy and then changes your baseline resonance, allowing you to magnetically align into that energy. So when we talk about the nervous system net, your name is also imprinted into the nervous system net. Many times when people have name changes, they may notice their physical life change. Experiences, people, places, things will change the second that you change your name. I know, because last year I went through a name change and then I changed it back. It was so much fun. It wasn't changed legally, but all the people around me started calling me by my nickname, and I was going to legally change it. And then I started noticing things change in the outside world. Anytime we use the I am happy, I am healthy, it actually changes the flow of light inside your nervous system net, which literally you manifest into a parallel reality or a timeline expression in which that resonance is what you perceive. And when we start to talk very nice to ourselves, compassionately, give the body compassion, give yourself compassion, then all of a sudden it allows for you to go more graciously through the life, and it allows your manifestations to be under that energy. Having more love always starts within the self. So whether it's you holding more love for yourself or holding more love for every single outside item, person, plant, or energetic coding that you see, it's going to allow your frequency to raise. The more love we are able to hold inside of our bodies, the more it raises our levels of awareness and allows us access into 5D. 5D is here right now. We do not have to wait for 5D. You can already activate it. You can already access it. Many of us are already touch and go. You may see it and then drop down. and then go back up. It's like a frequency, up and down, up and down. That is how the simulation right now is flowing with the solar energetics. Our frequencies, levels of awareness go up. In the star, people call that a spiritual week. And then all of a sudden, the Earth's frequency goes back down, and that is more of a physically focused week. The more and more we go through this up and down motion, it then allows us an opportunity to go into the darkness, to send it more love, because then it goes like this. So as you're going the up and down motion, it goes up like that. And that's part of the ascension process. The nervous system net is one way of controlling that process. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's see. Flowering the higher self centers is done in the heart chakra, the pineal gland, and the crown chakra. With these three centers aligned, the higher self takes the seat of the soul. This is located within the lower heart chakra and connects into the heart's tachyon particles. Tachyon particles connect above time and space, and this location inside of the heart grants access to time control abilities. So the tachyon particles, we can see these particles inside of the heart. If an individual is, witnessing something in fear, the heart jumps first before the brain has time to respond. So the emotion is triggered inside of your heart. The tachyon particles, it connects to the higher self. When we are holding any type of emotion, that's really where the higher self is taking the seat, is inside of those particles. And the word tachyon is above light, space, travel is pretty much what it means. Above, the speed of light is above that. Is this connection to the higher self. Now, the more and more we start to go into that heart chakra and we start to feel love, and we, it's like coaxing it. You can send it love and send the higher self love. Close your eyes and just feel it. Your higher self, when the higher self actually pulls itself down and takes the seat of the soul inside of the heart, you guys will literally feel it flower open the same way that the energetic centers flower open. You'll feel the top one, you'll feel like someone's hand is on the top of your head. You will feel this. It is energy, but you will feel it. When the heart opens, you'll feel it. It's a foot in front of the heart and it flowers open. You'll feel it. This is not something that you're going to question. Did I feel it? You're going to feel it 1,000% positive. When these centers, the upper centers, are opened, it then allows for you to activate that higher self into your physical body. This is a process of bonding the higher self into the body. And really, when you start to activate that, it allows you to step on to your highest potential timeline, because the higher self, the second the higher self is in the body, the higher self is like, I want to have the most amount of fun. So I'm going to come inside of a physical body to have the highest potential manifest for that person. And once again, she comes or he comes down. The higher self is actually genderless because it's more energy. But the higher self comes down when we are in alignment with the higher self. And what that looks like is love and excitement and bliss and being authentic. Who are you guys meant to become? What is your highest passions? What makes you the most amount of excited? Whatever that is, do that more, and then again and again, do it more and more and more, because that will automatically start the process of flowering open all the centers and adjusting all your light systems to allow that higher self to then take its seat inside of the body. Once again, we may be called to release the darkness, and releasing the darkness is one of the fastest ways to hold more light inside of your body. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process of releasing the darkness and allowing the light to come in. Okay, let's see. The flicker rate. The flicker rate of the simulation coatings is controlled within the heart's tachyon particles. This is known as the heart's 0 point. The flicker rate allows the perception of the physical reality, and adjustments to this system shifts the now moment awareness. The flicker rate works with perception boxes in order to allow sight into the world among worlds expression, granting the primary individual an awareness of all time and all space. Okay, time-space adjustments are facilitated in this location by a process of back pulling. So once again, you have to pull your consciousness back. when you start to close your eyes and go into the body and you start to like tell yourself, okay, I'm pulling myself back. You may feel, even if you're laying down on a bed, just imagine falling through the bed. Pull yourself back and put yourself either in the pineal or in the heart. In the heart, you're going to start to see the flicker rate. The flicker rate looks, hold on one second. Flicker rate looks like a photo with a photo behind it, and it flickers like this. Literally, if we can slow down time and space, you're going to start to see like it's a flickering of time and space is what you're going to see. That's very important because when we start to talk about density bubbles, a density bubble is an emotional expression that we hold and it resonates into the space outside of our body. And that emotion then shifts the density of any person, plant, item, anything that steps into that field. When that happens, if you guys have ever been in a situation where you've seen, let's say, something bad was about to happen, release, all of a sudden, time, space, that it drops a little. And it's known as like a void pull. But when that happens, like everything gets real quiet and eerie quiet, release. And when we start to see that, then we know it's like a spider sense. But what it truly is it's dropping into the heart and it's feeling into the time, space, and the flicker rate. When that happens, once again, it's a process of your energy field shifting and being in that new density that was created and then having the manifestation aligned into that density coding. We have had on this planet, from a human perspective, we've had experiences of, any type of darkness happening. And there was something that happened on a global scale. The electrical magnetic sensors that were placed all around the globe, they all spiked right before the event happened. So that showed us from a spiritual perspective that all of our energy fields took a spike in the electrical magnetic systems, which is us. That's your body's electrical and magnetic in its nature. So we're energy, all of our energy fields spiked, and then all of a sudden, whatever experience it was, it came to the entire world. Everyone on the planet saw it in the time. And it was in my lifetime. So we know this is how it works. Now, that being said, that is speaking about a negative experience, because the negative ones you can feel shift. We also do this in a light frequency. And the light frequencies, if you guys have ever felt that, not really religious, but like spiritual connectivity and like that feeling of bliss and like unconditional love, if you guys have ever had that feeling, that also is doing the same exact thing in a positive nature. It's just in my life, I don't identify ever having that experience on a global scale, but we know we do it on a global scale. It just, the star people saying that's going to happen on the solar flash. It's going to be something like that, very similar to that type of feeling washing through the people. And it's a form of connectivity is what the solar flash is going to activate inside of us, which is beautiful. Okay, let's see. Okay. This level of awareness is of high value when micro, which are tiny emotion codes, require recalibration. For the ability to slow the perceived time and zoom in on many emotions flowing at once is an advanced extrasensory gift. This awareness also allows for the original soul imprints to be witnessed firsthand and perceived all emotion codes stored in said memory file. So an original soul imprint is whatever we're encoded with at the time of conception, which is our true birth. So what that means is many times you guys may have noticed that you've come into the reality with certain experiences your higher self wanted you to have. Those are soul imprints. When we go through a life, or let's say in this current lifetime, you may have had, let's say one of your ancestors who has passed away, they're no longer here. We go in and we clear their attachments off of their field, And what that's actually doing is it's clearing the center soul tubule of that person. Even if they go back up to the source or, the heavens or wherever, and then they choose to reincarnate back into the next body vessel, when we pray for them or we go through and we clear all the darkness off of them, it actually allows them to manifest into their next life incarnation more clean, energetically speaking. So it's like the reason why we have cycle repeats come up and things that we have to go through multiple times is because of the density and the distortions on the energy, whether it's inside the actual body or in the center soul tubule or in the space outside of the body. All different aspects can be imprinted with emotion codes or thought grids. Not thought grids, a thought form, the star people are correcting. So when we start to identify, oh, okay, well, these different areas of the body can be imprinted. When we see someone who has gone back up and is no longer in a physical body, we can clear them. And when we clear them, then all of a sudden, it allows them to be more clean energetically. Once again, these are soul's primary things that they come to learn. So any type of energetic clearing that we do, there's a 3-day window for any attachments here on earth. I would imagine it works the same for a soul form. Now to start people saying, no, it doesn't. Thank you. He's saying the second you clear it, it's cleared out of their light and they have the option of re-putting it back on. But the option is theirs. For us, when we clear attachments from a physical perspective, the higher self, once again, there's a 3-day window. Within 3 days, if the higher self accepts the new emotional resonance, it will allow that attachment to release, or it will cycle repeat and the experience may come again. And then you'll have to go through that emotion code resonance again. That's okay too. That's part of learning how to ascend, is to learn all the emotion codes, to rise above the emotion codes. Maybe not all of the emotion codes, but it's a part of ascension. It's okay. Okay. Let's see. When the higher self energetically bonds into the primary individual, it allows the true soul name to be known. All past and future lifetime expressions become known. The highest potential timeline expression is automatically selected. This being is known as an activated being. The next step of this being's evolution is to activate their celestial self, which is a multiverse version of the higher self. A level 333 may be achieved during a celestial activation. So the true multidimensional abilities, you guys could just think of teleportation, all of the extrasensory abilities right now from our level of awareness. There's 365. Some are magnetic in their nature. Some are energetic in their nature. Some are here in the physical reality. Some are in the astral reality. There are some that are dream time, the lucid realms. There's different, and each person has different alignments to activate differently. That does not mean that you will not have the potential to activate all of them. That just means that you're probably holding an alignment to activate one that you're more in love with first or second. Some people may activate more than one at first. That's okay too. Beautiful. Okay. Two become one bond may form during a celestial being activation. This is a process of two activated beings energetically bonding and becoming one light being awareness. This is a cosmic relationship where both individuals share perception boxes, and in time, a similar soul frequency signature forms, allowing both beings to enter the celestial awareness level together as one. Now, a perception box, each and every one of us has potentials to open what the star people call perception boxes. A perception box, you could just see like they are windows, literally. It's a little box like this, and you can pull it up to the side. And it's very similar to how we use the computer. The computer, we can have one box open and then we can open a second box. And in the second box, we can do what the star people call a push through. A push through is when we push through that perception box, opening it, allowing our consciousness to push into that box or that expression. When we push through another perception box, for example, the perception box could hold the vibrational alignment of either a secondary individual or any animal or location code. The primary individual's awareness then shifts into that body vessel of the perception box. Many times, they may simply be a witness to whatever that secondary individual is observing. However, as the channeler identifies, the access into the perception box may be granted to allow for this type of communication to occur, allowing either channeling or biological movements to presume. Thank you. Thank you, star people. So that is also how the channeling is facilitated. The star people and my husband Tarek, he can activate my perception box. He can push through. He can move my arms, my legs. They can talk through me. There's many different forms of telepathy. They are able to modify the thought grid. So they're able to like clip a word or a phrase and pull it out of the thought grid. Thought grid's over here. They're able to pull it out and they're able to put words in it. So the words just come in and flow through. The thought grids also are, they align with memory strings. So because we have 5 fingers, there's 5 different memory strings that come in from the left-hand side. They all blend into one energetic cord. The thought stream comes into the right-hand side. The two meet. It is very similar to right at the control center, and then it comes and you process out the mouth so that you're able to take your memories and the new thoughts and align themselves. The star people are able to change the memory strings. So if there's knowledge that is needed at the moment of channeling, they're able to give me a whole memory of a time I sat down and watched a documentary. And it's like, oh, I know this because they've just put that information into the memory strings. Once again, there's 5 memory strings and there is 1 thought stream. The memory strings are how we determine how the thoughts coming into our mind are going to be received. So it's very similar to allowing new information to come in. When we have new information coming inside of our mind, we have to think about it. Does it make sense? Is it logical? Does it fit in with my belief systems? What are your belief systems? They are simply, an alignment of your past, of your memories. So it's just beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's see. We're like halfway down with this page. I told you, Mary, this page was a big one, 4 pages. The source frequency lens is located above the crown chakra. This lens is the gate that protects the soul form's evolution. Adjustments to this lens can allow the awareness to shift the flow of light radiating down into the individual's tubule systems. This lens flows similarly to a magnifying lens and adjusts the perception onto the body, location, or civilization rings. So once again, it's a giant lens that's above the head. Now, this lens, it actually looks like a 12-pointed star, and then light comes through the center. The 12-pointed stars contain the energetic resonance of the 12 experientials each individual is currently observing. An experiential is any brick of time that the primary individual must go through over and over to allow that experience to clear vibrationally into a neutral. The process of neutralizing any emotion also allows for self-love to be observed, allowing all 3 emotions of positive, negative, and neutral to then cleanse and purify the source frequency lens. When all 12 points are fully cleared, the individual then is able to access the higher self realm. This, dear ones, is very advanced for when the individual drops into a form of meditation and that gate is then open. It allows your consciousness to energetically blend with your higher self, allowing then a selection of any body vessel connected to the higher self to allow for a new perception. What this means, dear ones, is, let's say for an example, your higher self has 300 bodies here right now in the earth plane. You may then meditate, accessing that source frequency gate, blending your consciousness up with the higher self, and then selecting which body vessel to then energetically cast your consciousness back into. This is only one of the many abilities the higher self is able to hold. For dear ones, you are also able to perceive any aspect of light in your simulation, as well as other celestial beings' simulation, when and only when access is granted. Thank you. Thank you, star people. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. The biological form consists of meridians and ley lines. These lines form the energetic grids and connect directly to the nervous system net. These lines radiate outwards and form axial tonal lines. These axial tonal lines connect into the celestial being and human consciousness grids and the source frequency nets. They flow outwards and inwards and connect the individual to the multiverse. So if we stop and we think about what the multiverse is, multi is multiple, multi, verse is like the verse in a song. It is a frequency bandwidth. We are here in this world where we are able to see and perceive the physical reality as it is. However, there's other worlds out there in which the physics are completely different. The multiverse is every single reality, whether it be another planet in our solar system or our galaxies, or whether it be from the inner worlds, or whether you're able to make a 90-degree vibrational shift in your energetic grids and align yourself into a different world among worlds expression. Now, what the star people say is every single person's eyes is a different world. For each of us are able to hold different angles of light, which then manifest differently. We can all be looking at the same exact experience and all see it very differently. That's because we're all literally in our own world. Now, when we go swimming in the ocean, we even say it. That's a different world. It's a different world down there than the one up here. When we go into outer space and we see different planets, we're in a different world. When we zoom in, let's say we take skin cells, we put it under a microscope, we zoom in some more. It's a different world. There's different living organisms there. Well, now what I'm telling you guys is that, and we could call it meditation, but it really is being an activated being. We're able just to open up aspects of subspace and see through it and see life. And there's life there. And that's accessing another world. But that's accessing it here, right here in this moment of time and space. Well, what happens if we access it here? There's a different world. Because here, the angle of light and the frequency is totally different. Your location code is different here compared to here. For every single, they're calling it a millimeter. For every single millimeter, you could take it as that. It's actually a little different, they're saying, but just understand this or comprehend this. For every millimeter, there's a different world. It's different energy. The codings are totally different. And then we start to go inside. Because inside, let's say, for an example, we wanted to focus on any organ inside the body. In the mind's eyes, you can close your eyes, you can go into that organ and you can make it larger, make your picture, pull a perception window and make it big and look. Just look into the organ and see what's there. You're going to find other living organisms. We know this too, because when you take the skin and you look in the skin, we know we have germs, bacteria, and all the different living organisms that are there. It is literally a different world among worlds. Because what happens, you're looking at my skin, you're looking at my world, but what happens if you take a second person's skin? Well, their world is going to be totally different than mine. It's a different world among worlds expression. When we start to talk about the solar system and different planets, we have to take into consideration the rotation or speed of their sun. How many hours in the day do they experience? So their time works differently. What the star people say is, the planets also have different flicker rates. Now, we were talking earlier, the flicker rate comes from the tachyon particles inside of the heart. It controls how you literally see the simulation codings flickering. Now, when we start to observe another planet has a different flicker rate, that means that their perception of time and space may be happier. And when you're happy, time flies. Well, what happens if the entire planet is happy? Now, all of a sudden, their time is going to fly. So when you step into their world, your time is going to fly because whatever the collective feels or perceives is what the entire collective consciousness grid is going to then radiate downwards for all to experience. We, the star people, are ever so gently stepping forward. We wish to send our many love and blessings to all of you. Thank you for co-creating tonight's channeling experience. Thank you. Thank you, star people, for being here and creating this beautiful moment with us. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you for coming. We are hosting the Shadowwork Zoom tonight. We usually start at 8:30. It is a complimentary Zoom. Anybody who wants to come, just send an email to daniellelipton.com and I send you guys a Zoom link and you join us. We do different energy healings, clearings. You guys get to ask the star people one-on-one questions. Thank you guys for coming and co-creating with me. And I am sending each of you many love and blessings. Thank you.